What is the tefillah of Ana Becho'ach, and what is the significance of the words lined up next to it?
If you'll go to my website, insidechassidus.org, my tefillah section, I have, I think, 3 parts on Ana Becho'ach, 3 whole classes on Ana Becho'ach. They go along with PDFs where I have all kinds of source material to explain Ana Becho'ach. And answer number 3 is as follows. And I want to be very clear, this is how I understand it. I can't tell you that this is true, this is how I understand it. Ana Becho'ach is called in Sfarim Tefillas Rab Nechunya ben Akana. It's called the prayer of Rab Nechunya ben Akana. Rab Nechunya ben Akana, of course, is a Tana. He's mentioned in Pirkei Avos, which means he lived 2,000 years ago. And Rab Nechunya ben Akana is considered a makubal on the class, if you will, of Rab Shimon bar Yochai. They attribute to Rab Nechunya ben Akana the Sefer HaBohir, which is the oldest Kabbalah Sefer. It's even older than the Zohar. And in contrast to the Zohar, which is written in Aramaic, it's written in Hebrew. I have to restate that. The oldest Kabbalah Sefer is the Sefer Yetzirah. But besides for the Sefer Yetzirah, it's one of the oldest Kabbalah Sfarim. And they also attribute to him a Sefer called Sefer HaPliyah and Sefer HaKona, which are available. These books, you can buy them in the bookstore. I can't promise you can understand them, but you can buy these ancient works. Yeah, I believe that there's a bit of controversy, or more than a bit of controversy, of how these Sfarim reached us. My recollection is, and I'm speaking from memory, that there's someone named Rabbi Haroif, who was involved in preparing the Sefer HaPliyah and the Sefer HaKona, and presumably there's 49 such Sfarim, of which we have only a few. But the Rab Nechunya ben Akana is considered one of the greatest Mekubalim who ever lived. And presumably he wrote the Tefillah on Ana Becho'ach. The Tefillah on Ana Becho'ach comes along with Abba Gitatz, Allah Beis Gimel Yud Tov Tzadik, which is an abbreviation for Ana Becho'ach Edulas Yamincha Tatz Yisrura. I have a colleague, a co-worker, who's older and wiser and holier than I, gets very upset when I say the abbreviation. In Zohar, for example, you have in a number of places where Ana Becho'ach is mentioned, but they don't say the tefillah, they just say the abbreviation, Abba Gitatz, and so on. If I'm not wrong, and I may very well be wrong, first comes the abbreviation, again comes the tefillah. In other words, the 42 words, Ana Becho'ach Edulas Yamincha Tatz Yisrura Kal B'Rinas Amcha, and then of course it finishes, Shavasenu Kabel L'Shmat Zakasenu Yedei Telumis, and then we end with Baruch Shem Kfed Mechus L'Elam Voad, and of course the ending with Baruch Shem could be like the Baruch Shem that they said in the Shem HaMefudesh B'Mikdash, Ve'ein Kan Hamokam L'Harach Bazeh, came after the abbreviation. In other words, in the ancient world, they had the name of the Eibush that had 42 letters. Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Yud, Tov, Tzadik, and so on. They made from those 2 letters a tefillah. Ana is the Aleph, Becho'ach is Beis, Gedulas is Gimel, Yamincha is Yud, and so on. Because these 42 letters represent the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which has to do with Gevura. For reasons that I don't want to elaborate upon, in Kabbalah the number 49 has to do with Chesed, because it's 7 times 7, bringing godliness down, Shleimus, Shulamis. The number 42 has to do with Gevura because it's 7 times 6, you're missing the Malchus in each one of the spheres. And my understanding is that first they had the abbreviations and they put the tefillah to it later. We're not supposed to say the Eibishter's name. Just like you're not allowed to pronounce Hashem Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, you're not allowed to say Allah Beis Gimel Tov, Yud Tov Tzadik, and so on. So by taking each of these letters, of the 42 letters that make up the name of Mab, of the Eibishter, and putting them to 42 words, we're able to say them. And that's the significance of Ana Becho'ach. Now, of course, Ana Becho'ach Edulas Yamincha Tatz Yisrura has a translation. It's a poem. It means things. But perhaps the meaning of the words of that tefillah are secondary to the letters, which are the Rashi Tevis, the first letter of each of those 42 words, which is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is Shem Mab, the Shem of Gevura. In tradition, Ana Becho'ach is said in a part of davening where you have to have an aliyah and you cannot say a kaddish. In other words, throughout davening we say kaddeshin. And the Rebbe has notes about this, letters about this, that we're very careful to say each of the kaddeshim, because a kaddish is a transference from a world to a world. Like for example, by Baruch Hu you say kaddish because you're going from Yetzirah to Bria. Each kaddish is taking it from a world to a world and it acts as a transfer. When you cannot say a Kaddish, whatever reason, and you want to ascend from a lower level to a higher level, so you supplement, you replace the Kaddish with Ana Becho'ach, which is the same idea of Gevura, of ascent from a lower world to a higher world, like by Azel Makoyman and Shacharis, and like in Kishmash Alamita, and then Friday night before the Chodedi, and so forth and so on.